We will now resume, members. We have just the accounting officer for the Ministry of Fisheries. So head 23. In terms of head 23 of the Appropriation Bill, Mr. Pem Cherchi, welcome to the committee inquiry into the 2026 Appropriation Bill 2025. This is not a new process to you. I'm sure that all of you have been standing before the committee before. Let us get straight to the budget as presented in the bill. Just looking back in terms of the kind of a trend analysis of the allocation for the last 5 years, it seems that you have been given an increase. Congratulations on your very successful bid. Next year, I think this is one of the biggest increase that has been given to the ministry, and rightly it should be made so. Kind of a quantum around 172 million on a year-on-year growth. I think that represents something like 60, more than 60% increase, which has to be the case. On the current development ratio spread, I think you are doing pretty well. Recurrent around 21%, development has about 74%. Wow, I mean, that's quite a different mix to this financing scenario that came in, which means that you have so well in putting a lot of emphasis in putting a lot of your resources into the development budget. Others will be asking questions also on the non-appropriation and so forth. But PS, let me just run through you some of the thematic and narratives that came out of the fiscal strategy. As you know that the mainstay of our economy for the last how many years, since independence, the logging sector is now declining so significantly. And I'm sure that this has been discussed with you when this fiscal strategy document was put together, that a lot of you in the primary sector has to pick up, and shoulder the burden, driving the economy going forward. But there are some significant data movement that I think need to be noted. For the current year, there seems to be a contraction in the fisheries sector by some 0.3%. You might want to make some reflection on that. Well, there's some qualification in there: adverse weather conditions, declining fish stocks, efficiency, processing. So maybe you might want to comment on that. But at the same time, there's some promises, moving forward into the future. I think there seems to be some expectation that the industry will rebound again. You cannot predict him so much on the weather conditions, but there seems to be some hope given in some favorable weather conditions for the years to come, or immediately next year, with some possibly some good development in the supply chain. Therefore there should be some increased demand on the export side, and so forth. So just update the committee. Why do you think that there is some hope for the sector to shoulder the responsibility, and you can do that collaboratively with the other primary sectors as well, agriculture, tourism, and so forth, mining. So just give us some kind of an understanding. How do you understand this kind of a development going forward? Think that there will be some positive development in the higher catch, low volume, weather conditions should be all right. There will be some additional fishing vessels operating with our EEZ by what does that represent, that increase here, and from which distance fishing nations? Maybe some kind of thinking like that. On the processing side, there are great interests coming in to our sector. Are we planning some kind of an expansion to our processing, the existing only processing entity that we have in the country? And if not, why not? Where would the capital coming from? Because peers, when the governor appeared before the committee, we asked them whether or not there is an interest in foreign investment in our fisheries sector, especially in the processing. There seems to be, some reservations, made on that front. There doesn't seem to be any foreign direct investment represented in the way that the capital account below central bank can be, because that's where you look at whether or not there's an interest law for investment into the country, foreign direct investment in both mining and fisheries. Very little, insignificant, I must say. So what's going on with our promotion? Or is it that our strategy is not working well, or how? Please update the committee. Just pose those questions, and then others will come up with we understand that you will have to leave for another engagement overseas. But please, you as the head of the ministry, let us get some understanding from you what's going on. Thank you, Madam Secretary. Please.
Chair, good afternoon to you and your committee. It's a privilege to be before you this afternoon as well in your inquiry into the budgets, this Appropriation Bill 2026. In response to your question, Chair, let me just provide a broad picture on the sector. I think in terms of the global, this time I think in terms of processing, him reaching stage where him start to plateau now globally, like really because of abundance of catch where him in storage, load the big processing plants globally. So interest for new processing or new investments in terms of processing, I think him a little bit go down. But the P&A and FFA approach, him quite different. We have the resources. I think ours is the only healthy stock in the region. I mean, globally, the regional stock is the only stock where him sustainable. We try to promote that because of the sustainable stocks law region. I think it puts a special attraction to some of the big processes or where the interest law sustainability. Sustainability issues. So the regional attraction have still remain in spite of the global peak low processing. So in that regard, I think in the region there is still room and also the rooms for investment as well. So you have in terms of P&A, we are working together really strongly this time under the East New Britain Initiative to come up with in new plans in terms of development plans. And in that regard, for let's say for Bina, I think the interest in coming from Kiribati, now we have interest from FSM, interest from Marshall Islands, interest also from Tuvalu, really for coming and to join Bina as well in terms of providing raw materials for Bina as well. So I think the interest of PNA for me for us start to work together for addressing and to increase the value of the tuna along the value chain. I think him critical for the region and FFA. I think the trade unit inside FFA they're looking at that one as well. So in a way, in spite of the global situation, I think in the region, I think there's still room. And for us, I think. Our limit, say limit blooming until this time, I'm really low catch blooming nowhere. And data blooming law, the CBSI is always rely on data law and FD and Sultan and nowhere. So the annually, you may catch around 100 to 150 metric tons a year. But from NFD and Sultan, what's up processing number 35 or even to 40. So I think the room is still there for us, for increasing the catch and also increasing the processing strength below for him go at least 50, so 60 or something. So in that regard too, for Sultan, I think building up new construction or storage. New cold storage where him support him now storage low catch for processing, and it will increase the processing capacity of tuna. In terms of management of our resources, I think we okay regionally. I think we have the best sustainable stocks globally at this time, at this stage, and so in terms of our tuna fisheries, we have no problem. And for us Solomons, we have all the 4 species of tuna, the skipjack, the yellowfin, the big eye, and the albacore, and everyone, each one of them have still a low sustainable rate this time. In terms of inshore fisheries, I think you will know that in terms of aquaculture, you may start to look at seaweed, and I think seaweed expansion smoothly going ahead. You may reach now at least 6.8 ton aim this year. We aim for 10, but we're securing 8 now at by October. So I think there's still room for him for increasing production for seaweed, Cello country. Sea cucumber, I think we are starting breeding and spawning, and I think the company that I'm involved in sea cucumber got a plan for starting export located by June next year of the juveniles were raised inside low tanks instead of the wild harvest.
Well, because I mean, I haven't given up processing it yet. I mean, even though you were saying that, there seems to be, the demand for the process globally and plateaued because of the way that you have qualified, the decline of this year. It's a very insignificant decline, 3%. That's fine. Something to do with adverse weather conditions and declining fish stocks. I think that is experienced almost, on an annual basis. But what is being featured here is inefficiencies in the processing. So it means that there needs to be more capital investment needed, boosting now production in our processing, whether it be Lodisola tuna processing plant that in Garemia or other processing investment prospect. There will still be hope. What I'm saying is this, that are we really picking up interest on foreign direct investment in processing, in establishing processing plant in Solomon Islands? Is there hope, for on that front, in that space? And if so, Has it been reflected in the kind of interest from our foreign direct investment into the country? How many investors now have shown interest, to do processing for Solomon Islands? And are we really promoting Solomon Islands as an investment potential, for fisheries processing in all aspects, large-scale tuna and other small-scale fish packaging, processing, and so forth. Yeah. And when we ask the questions, in terms of the direct interest, whether or not they been reflected in the way that investors are registering and we will be asking the Ministry of Commerce to Foreign Investment, are we receiving that or this kind of an interest? And are there any evidences of FDIs, coming into the country? It seems or every sector you put him hope low, I'm no reflecting anything like that now. The list is even in the mining sector, I must say. And I hope that we don't experience the same in the fishery sector. So that one, just by way of comment, no more. I still have hope in our processing.
Chair,
Yeah, sure, please, yeah.
Intervene. Yes, I will say yes in terms of the hope, but at the same time as well, there are challenges for us to address as a country as well. I think, as you know, Chair, the biggest one now, himnalo tax. Staka letter of interest come me for staka company visiting logo visiting me for and in terms of interest in terms of processing, in terms of fishing, but always they talk about the enabling environment for sustaining Mogata. Always talk about say tax believe high for good. You may just start now, but you will kill me for tax now. And so, although others will come in, we will always try and support them. Right law finance to at least give them, try and give them discount or at least give them exemptions, to allow them to at least to grow, and then before we can start to bring or to put in pressure on them. But otherwise, the interest is there. But I think we would, for fisheries sector, I think the enabling environment must be strengthened. And within us, within the sector itself, but outside of the sector in terms of tax, in terms of other things, other enabling issues that will help to enable the sector to grow.
So what you are saying, PS, is that, somehow these kind of issues have never been, discussed in a fair and flexible way with our foreign investors and other interested parties that have expressed interest in this sector. Because, that's what government is there for. Make decision, the right decision when it is needed. You are in the best position to be able to put those recommendations, to the relevant authorities. So, to me, I think let's take some very creative and proactive way, in engaging with our relevant authorities, so that we can prepare a better environment, for our investors, to be able to generate their interest in this sector. Now let's move over from this, and then this one, I'm just an overarching, no more in terms of fiscal strategy. Yeah? Let's get straight to the budget number. I think there are some areas of investment interest law sector which I think has generated some very good interest in child law countries so far. Seaweed, for instance, is one. How far have we gone now in really getting this interest, right down to, our rural people now, also, to our rural people? And can there be any other thing that, we should be able to assist in, promoting these particular sectors and others, that you identify in our budget for 2026? Run this through with us, yes, please. Honor Seaweed. Thank you.
Chair, thank you. Lost seaweed, I think up to maybe October, we got the total number of farmers have come across 2,367. That's actually throughout the country, and also in terms of production. You may come custom for this year alone, yeah. 10 tons ni targeted.
Okay.
As from last year, for him increase government, so now him 7 tons, or him almost 8 tons by October, and the revenue so far, low exports, low seaweed, low this year, him come $3.8 million.
So with that increase, does that represent the kind of spending that government is spending to all these, what do you call them, rural fishing entrepreneurs, or does it represent some kind of an increased spending? Let me resulted in this.
You will recall, Chair, last year Mifal asked for 7 million now for seaweed alone to increase the production. So I think the 10-ton aim low production him due to the 7 million were last year, and this million I think government, or this year government put him about 11 million.
How much of that 7 million have we spent this year?
Last 7 million was totally spent.
All being spent.
All been spent.
Totally.
Yeah. Really. And then for this year, 11 million Mifal allocated, and then in the system and all to this year, we will spend him 2 million no more. I think the remaining really big submission for now, him sit low front of finance for the last 2 or 3 months where him no
The 2 million we have spent so far.
Yes.
That has led to that increase of some
we were
1,000, what? We express it in tonnage, is it? Okay. It's only 2 million, but him into that.
Him no Mifal spend him a lot, everything like seaweed for Golo villages, ropes and other things. Him the Golo village. A lot of rural farmers blame me, but the biggest part now him stuck low in front of CTB, really because him not big tender for ropes more, for all the other equipments where him not been released from CTBs, so the spending him around 2 million no more this time of the 11 where him allocated for this year.
So, what sort of picture does that present to you, the accounting officer blow? Because, even with delayed 5 million, that 2 million has boosted production. So that shows that, maybe these rural fishermen, farmers, may have access to other resources, or support, or private capital support, or is it driven by kind of a private sector support? What is it? What is your message to the government that you may need for put more them so that they can expand their production? Is that the kind of message, because that's really what this process is all about. This inquiry is all about finding out how can we better improve them now, and see the way forward. What's your opinion on that?
Chair, in fact, about seaweed, I think that's the aim. I think our aim is for seaweed for really supporting what people blame me, and it's one of the greatest potential in terms of livelihood support for people blame me. So from the ministry, I think we feel aggressively supporting me for really implementing seaweed program in Jello country. The progress to date, I think, although him factory in at least him improving productions from last year and him meet and the meeting production or increasing production, but me for like more. And the slowness law implementation law is like him no tenders blow me falla or him not been really slow in terms law respond from a CTB. I think him not drag me well, but otherwise I think it's important for me for push through the proper seaweed and especially when him now the quickest revenue instead of country for people blame me. So I think, I think, we would like to see more happening in the seaweed space to ensure the provision of livelihood for our people blame me.
Yes. Just for the benefit no more blow committee no more in terms of our drafting of the report, maybe you can tell us which part of the region, how many farmers are there, what's their production achievement law current year, and what's our projection going forward into the future? What's the kind of input that they have been receiving from our from government now, and where is mix in the government? You will small mala, you will help him order too. Yeah, so they have a, that another mix him coming from like small mala is a constituency versus also possibly your small mala MCP, yeah. Small Malaysia, sorry. Yeah. And then West New Georgia is not here. South New Georgia, you will plan a little bit Loredo Hamba too, or you will start now this time. Yeah. And then South Choiseul, for instance. West Harare, they are doing very well. West Harare. I know that West Harare, they are doing. If we are allowed here, Lofrand Longo, Central Honiara. Yeah. I'm involved in 2 years.
Market.
Huh? Matani kona that one man. By no inting grow there, by next thing, by looking me run by on top no or the warfare. Yeah. So yeah, something like that. So that we can have a good message, yeah, for President Lord. I'll open it up to and Small Malaysia wants to make a point.
Yes,
please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Me for joining me for welcoming PS and Team Blongham for appear before the committee. Me want for also underscore what I'm going to make PS and Talem in his opening remarks. Longo some follow the activity where Amy got an impact, both an economic impact and financial impact longo what the rural people belonging me. One of these is this seaweed here. And I mean, we will talk finish with them agriculture, so there's some ideas along there when perhaps we can import to fisheries, especially the seaweed area, but also tilapia and also. So the numbers where PSU Talem come farmers, I mean, you clock them something like 2,300 something. Me want to say, is that an increase or an even increase in number from what year? Last year, how many and also and production at almost 8 tons. You may reach him low by end of October when the numbers come in, and then the revenue derived from exports in 3.8. Me like Save. If you sort of compare them with them previous reports from you, the numbers look how much increase here. But when I'm like looking, then you PSM go ahead for talk about budget or planned activities for this year, and in the seaweed production, them $11 million loan, but are disappointed that only $2 million of that now you may spend them so far. Now we are in November. So, me no problem, but PSM point them also in procurement process and law ministry
CTV.
Or tendering process, yeah. One of a delaying factor, but surely there's some way of getting money out long, quick time, long, or get ministries. Should be identified so that we may go ahead with them. If we are going to impact the people, this is one for the area, for the product we have a direct impact long. Also, local, copra, also. Chairman, me sabe talem no malongo.
Sure.
Or blow me, people blow me.
Yes.
Other like him no more. This one him quite. They have some issues where me like by me raise him later on, but him standing where me talk to him. But me you don't look him anywhere for me. Fast track him this will the rest of the $9 million. We have left along $11 million here. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Chair, thank you for the question. I think the tender when we will put in through when we will expect them CTV for Sidlehem, yeah. It's about 6 million, that one, yeah, for about everything to see with the ropes, nets, everything, for me will give him away for suppliers. And if that one him go through finish here, him now for every farmer's blame me, and him should be start distributed to them too, and for suppliers for provide him those things. So because him no more, I think him a little bit problem for me for them doesn't do. But with the budget this year no more, where him inside the system finish, I think we'll take it until the end of the year. At the same time too, I think. The groups like Strengthening Business, Small Business, Solomon say, I think also coming up to support too or the selected farmers in several provinces. Small business strengthening farm, that small business, so no, the full name, but there are interest from what the donors are starting to come up for, or like for support them, provide them direct support to farmers, him also outside of the ministry. So Australia is doing that.
Thank you,
Yes.
thank you, Chairman. So me happy with that one, and I'm happy to hear that our donor partners are interested also in this. You must put them go across. If you may need for help them with rural communities. This is where we help them. You may help them more for the sustain more level, but I want for sustainable activity in all sense of the word. No spoil them in environment, also yeah. And this one we want for so me now want to go into idea where you meet to talk to him with them law agriculture, Mr. Chairman, and that is that. Financial resources seem to be a very, very big problem. You may reach him, or you may reach him full capacity, or you may enhance them capacity blow rural farmers lo seaweed. Seaweed is just one, but you may talk about that one first time. Lo area blow me, lo constituency blow me, find them too well immediate. Something apart from these materials or some rope and float and or something, yeah. But two where I have bar impact in production blogger now is storage capacity. Storage or the house blogger pull up go. They have to put over the bike outside Lorraine now. And hemi something also him sorry something because you have to harvest, yeah. But if goes house and full up, where more you put them? So, something where you may need for move quick time along here, with the amount of interest that's kind of diverted into this activity, by go everywhere else, and Chairman in Talem Western area, or the Western area, by also producing seaweed by him 10 times Lomi Valley.
Absolutely.
they will need kind facility also. But then I'm linked along with transport now, and we will is inside Lo Island, yeah, because transport is fortnightly. You harvest every 6 weeks, no more. Every farmer, yeah, time what go ahead rotate, they are harvesting every day. So time shipping no come, storage no something, you know. You gonna go ahead build him, construct him road, yeah, Mr. Chairman.
Sure.
I may invite him all time, you may
Aye.
open him by you now, right?
Yeah.
But him slow too. Road making, I mean, not only slow, it's very expensive. So, me thinking around him, how now by ministry, we collaborate, long work together or something. It seems to me, lo this fella sector, yeah, seaweed, one for officer blue, you know, me will pull him round, yeah. Time we will go last time, yeah, man, just arrive, come lo gela, him no go sleep lo house mo, and we will take him next day now.
Aye.
So me sorry, but agree for come, so come now. So we need for capacitating ministry low level here. We need technical advice. All the farmers about hyper following and something, eh? Time we will go make him seaweed, low home, section long Port Adam, talk about Selene and Osem. Go some follow me, well, bushot like for plant them too.
River, eh? Low river? Oh, look at that.
So we say, man, any problem, eh? You hyper follow something. So what I'm saying is, Chairman, we all need him. People who outside advice Lord here because as any other crop, and we will try and cover and got something, yeah. People hyper follow me. You may need for direct them or the interest here and potential. Say long or right well man where you know some plant them or you know got them see, you know go look at them to see we do something else. But also time small workshop me come sit down with them with the farmers and fisheries officers and all me vale. Some understanding below me or something wrong one no more fisheries officer come story now just straight line. Like you must harvest and plant inside sea now you die with them time.
Yeah.
Fisheries officer no need there. Because one minimum if in 4 hours you plant you inside sea. So when it happens, sir, kalau people got admit to hospital because of the cold and fever and fisheries officers him no need for you inside lo sea you take him what something plant them within an hour also you just go put them rope here. No more you die go. Yeah. Advice no more but one him. No sabe so Mr. Chairman kind something also now. We need people with technical expertise for what's there. Chairman, you sabe too, any kind man sabe what current expertise lots on here too, yeah. So if I come totally wrong one, what say, but you plant them so many meters, so many centimeters. Some valor no sabe too, what no the difference between meter and centimeter. Yeah. So basically, Mr. Chairman, when we like for stress him is if you one for fishery officer no more to deal with him, you increase him number 10 times and also him go. And dream this fellow workshop, one day workshop him, make him lo mi vale, make him. So golo Western area, golo lang lagoon, golo Lau lagoon, golo every lagoon here.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, you must make him because me look him impact long him. It's very relevant and good impact, good for income lo place now.
Sure.
I'm stopping people or come ask him Selene lo me. That's what I'm saying. And he borrow good, bring him dignity lo family. And also they are working for something where, or the earn them themselves. So that one, Mr. Chairman, you must go ahead learn. We're talking about low-hanging fruit, this is one. And so we must invest learn. So Blomina is you increase the number of your people where stablo there, look inside law establishment, but we must increase him, yeah, Mr. Chairman. Another something where we like for propose him is fisheries officer blow you here. How many fisheries officer? Put them 50 inside law, 50 no more. Some lawyer no need no more law. Central Honiara no need. But law other constituency law rural area here. Law C.
By solficia, no.
Other where law inside land no put them fisheries officers. But law there you must put them now. Make them. One of idea blow me also, Mr. Chairman. Me like him or walk away the mival constituency. So we can work together on resource allocation, yeah, so that we will need him something also. Some of the resources come from ministry, some will come from constituency. You may go ahead, Lohem. If you may need for building a storage shed, you may work them together, make them easy and quick time. Or if you may need him transportation and also look him too. Then get our donors for helping me law or the facilities also. And me something where me like for proposing Mr. Chairman and suppose go and stop inside here by supplementary must come for him. Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
But you wanna supplement him now? Comment below you. It's a very good point. And PH, can I just post a little bit, and then allow non-you to here, please.
Chair, me garem a little bit serious doubts about the program. Yeah, serious doubts. Let's look at our history.
Okay.
I'm saying, Madai. Opera kokwa daitu. Then he must like for revive him like this time. Yeah. If we are not careful, it will be a repetition of same no my storage now. I think the marketing part of it. That's one of the biggest problem where imino good lohem lo coconut and copra. Let's find a way for imino repeating that one. Coconut.
Cocoa.
Copra and cocoa take a little bit long time for you harvest him and then you sell him. See, we do every day, no,
6 weeks.
6 weeks, yeah. So you see the frequency of harvest and marketing, that is a major challenge. Make a 2-point me like for reason, general no, yeah. Me val constituency blumi me no talemote for same all same. Time government say cocoa full troop blumi val go for cocoa. No anything happen. What I say go for reforestation, you will no kase me vala. What happened? No anything. Tell him come over project, we will go ahead. Well go we will tired now. Yeah. So you go for doing outreach, let's make sure that something by him no fail. But people tied long time, yeah. Yeah? What are tied? So, me raise them also so that we find a way of not repeating our mistakes of the past. No, my. That's my general comment law, that one, yeah? Because if no any shed, big enough hold that harvest. Program by him down. If no any sheep will go collect, finish now. I'm also, eh? The ending part here now is an important part. Immediate for look them. Hem no mean that hem a big challenge, but something to think about, learning from our past. The other thing where me say me no garem little bit doubt to him is every statements below ministry, including the strategy, fisheries is put as a high priority below government here. What is happening is no. That wala 10W lay down low. Him no priority please. So we are talking, singing two different songs or messages are not the same. So, and if you are not pushing for the remaining part, yeah, finance will say, hey, last year ought not take him no, but I'm all right. This year one by same no more. And the program is designed to fail. I'm all same here. But me agree with him, my colleague from South Small Maleta. A very important program, but let's make it happen. Let's make it work. And he has to start somewhere. Yeah? No go out no one launching this, tell him of this one, then go on. No, nothing low end. Something in Italian 5 years ago, no even happened custom this time. What kind of strategy? Yeah? Me remember, 2-3 years back, big story about beach steamer, yeah, all same. Custom this time, no in beach steamer no ma. Big stories on cattle. Import come from Vanuatu, go. Why not the cattle, yeah? Not a look come, you look also 6x1. Time you, Tanya also by 5x2, or something also, not a cattle blame this time, yeah. See, the end product, you know, is the worrying part. Yeah? So maybe those are lessons that we learn from, and also this was a new program, yeah. A good program, yeah. Children, women, old man, everyone sabi respect to this one. Let's make it happen for them. I think that's the only one good program where we sabi involve everyone. Eh? Let's make it happen. Don't lead it to failure. Then no ma, focus below me is if we are not careful. The trend as it goes at the moment, yeah, I have my reservations. So, you may look at those and then let's improve upon them. Because once everyone participates, yeah, peace. But you problem, yeah. Storage, low transport, then by you may repeat him same of the past. I think that's the general statement. And me some for process no more how you may go about them. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, PS, I mean, I know that, you really and react to these. These are very important points that have been raised. The collaborative efforts, yeah, that I think we need to work out between, constituencies that have an interest and can host, good, seaweed farming, yeah. You need to work with them, and we need to come up with some kind of an arrangement. We have identified the same with other law agriculture too. Yeah? So maybe if we can come up with some kind of arrangement, to address more the issues. Yeah, shipping, for instance. Agriculture came up with kind of a solution by paying fuel, yeah, they reimbursed fuel. Yeah, to fishing company or shipping companies that have saved those regions, yeah? But they have to show evidences, yeah, and also we have worked out some kind of an arrangement one time or whether that you could collaborate to build up the storage, yeah? You mean something that you could take from this hearing, and then maybe you come up with them. First of all, you need to come up with the statistics. Which region, many farmers now are there, what's the kind of support that you have given to them? Yeah, because everything has to be reflected on the budget here, So we really wanted to show that, look, government, I mean, you have the best advice from our departments, but then why is it that you still holding back. Why can't you understand the urgency and the need for, this particular investment for him grow? And you still give full bar of, you have to do it, the control mechanism, but they're good to understand and put there is what the other two tell them, government has to put the resources where the priorities are, I must say. So, yes, what now, Titing Blue? Of course, there are other issues that what someone like regime do.
Yeah, Chair, thank you for the comments and also interventions. I think me agree totally. Me fellow minister agree totally. And this program is not our own program. It is our program. We agree that everyone should be involved inside. And just last week, me raising one in issue two. My colleague Emma already. How we know how work together. If any allocations of members are there, we push a see with for support the program for me work together as a team. And I think some of the members are thinking on that line, which is very important too. So now, by all means, me agree totally. Every comments raised. I think in terms of shade, I think we're working together. In the past, me for work normal provide them or the farmers for build them shade when fitting more than normal. But as we increase production, yes, we need to expand the shade.
What I'm saying is that when you look at the recurrent budget or the development budget, where can we pick from to be able to help seaweed farmers for the country?
I think
maybe when you go back, instead of you to talk nothing normal here, come up with them suggestion and put it to the secretariat, and then we can put that in our recommendation, because our that once we complete our report, we will put it back to cabinet review another BD. You might end up with an increased allocation, and the bills can be amended. Yeah. Some kind of a concrete understanding like that, no, like.
So, Chair, the allocation for next year is roughly
11 million, is it?
No, it's 14M for next year.
Oh.
That's for seaweed alone. Mm-hmm. So, isn't that not enough?
Well, that's
for the 10 months. I think for us.
Yeah.
I think by Heminava 2026 in terms.
Yeah, but let us hope that it will not end up with only 4 million expanded. And then just the experience that Imingaram this year. It is 2 million no more spent out of that 7 million by next year, but by 4 million out of 10, something the same. Yeah. So. What does that mean? Is it because, of the way that you processing those assistance, those expenditure demand here? Is it with the way that, we are expressing it, to the way that they got this best law Ministry of Finance here? Is that what is holding us back, or what is it? I mean, sometimes I felt that, now the situation, maybe the way that you process him go here, you explain him good. So come up with some kind of an understanding that this is what we are going to put forward to them, and procurement more something that I'm always what are the things you
yes. Let me take note, law.
You got MC with too, yeah? Come back with them or there less normal, yeah?
We take note, law, your comment, Chair. I think, if we take note, we'll go back and have a look at it. In terms of submissions of finance, I think from experience, knowledge that after Kasim Lo there, one for the staff give him come out the instruction different from another one. Yeah. So I have no difficulties law finance, but otherwise the submission is very clear. And it's like the last one, the tender, him to go finish, him come through the MTB, agreed finish me for go put them CTP, just to clear the tenders off. But I mean, just quorum for meet no more. And over 2 months, no quorum for meeting.
Hunai, CTV.
CTV. I'm not reason why the tender I'm still sit down question today. But we have been let them and Mogot for seat, my name Mogot to seat from colleague Blumia, accounting general and others.
So, no, in other better ways, well, maybe you can find a way. No, but you know we are putting our priority on it.
Yeah.
Pescora, you want to raise a question?
Since that colleague Lumi, leader of opposition, him here, no?
I see.
Yeah, one of the projects where me like want to see that him should be part of our history now is Bina Harbour.
Sure.
What is any update to us on the Bina Harbour project?
Ano na bene? Ano Tina Hydro?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Chair.
Chair, thank you, Thomas. If he miss a move Lubina, then I'll have the privilege to give it to Fred for, and also, manager Blumi for Lubina.
But you may come back. You may go Lubina first time. Okay, please.
You call Lubina?
Project manager,
Okay.
you come forward.
Come, sit down. You just give her, or either you two.
Yes.
You got to come to the mic because I'm recording. Pull him.
Then Bami go back sit down.
Or you?
You can sit down. Yeah. Oh, you sit down.
So, Fred, can you pull that mic?
Okay, maybe I'll give it to well, I'm not the project manager, I'm the technical service coordinator, but I'll give it to Mandy, who is the project manager in Bina. Mandy, maybe you take it on first, then we'll go into other things.
Good afternoon, honourable members. The last time we were at this committee, we gave a fairly thorough overview of the Bina Harbour project development. And I can say that we have progressed within the time frame and to our planned expectations of the project. Where we are up to now is that we have a 30% design, which is what that means in real terms, and Fred will go into this in more detail, is that we have enough of a detailed design, which you have not had before. We have a design that's detailed sufficiently to be able to give us very high confidence in the costings that come with it. That means that next month we will know how much the project's going to be costing, the enabling infrastructure for the project. That's a huge milestone. It's been done very rigorously, very thoroughly. At that point, we will be able to hand it to a consultant team from Australia called Castalia, economic consultants, who will take those costings. They will put them into economic modelling, partially that's been done by IFC and new modelling, and give us a business case that will be rigorous enough to make decisions about for the government going forward, and it will be attractive to development partners to want to invest. Just one point about investors. Honourable Darcy noted before, do we have investors? Yes, we do. We have two global tuna operators who are very interested in Bina. We have NDA agreements with them to share information. They're also providing information to us to ensure that the plant develops along lines that will be attractive to a donor. We have a rebate scheme that we've put considerable effort into to ensure that, again, those operators will be sufficiently incentivised to want to participate. We have also got entered into MOUs with 2 other Pacific countries. At the last meeting, we were pursuing these, but we hadn't locked in any agreements. So we have MOUs now with Kiribati and with Tuvalu. And I think that perhaps addresses the issues you raised before, and I'll now hand over to...
So the global group that you're referring to, have they formally registered their interest as a foreign investor in the Solomons, or they're yet to?
These are the investors we're talking about.
Have they formally registered their interest as a foreign investor in the Solomons?
There has been no request to do that as yet. We will be going out for pre-qualification next year, but we want to get this business case process completed first before we take that next step.
Okay.
And Chair, if I can add, we have entered into an NDAs with them, the investors.
What is NDA?
The non-disclosure agreements. Okay. With the investors, the potential investors. But we haven't asked them yet to register interest. But otherwise, in the last 12 months, we've been engaging with them very actively, and we plan to continue that engagement until they come in.
Are they any private investor in some jurisdiction, or the public listed company in some jurisdiction?
One of them is based in Asia, the other is in Europe.
Sorry?
One of the interested investors is Asian, the other is European.
Okay.
They are really big companies, public registered companies. In the fisheries space, I think they are really the big guys up at the top.
So you can't tell us their name?
We have entered into this NDAs, so still at this stage, Honourable, we're not allowed to
entering into an NDA.
we're not allowed to disclose their names. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, that's good.
Maybe just give an update on where things are with some of the work stream as well. As we probably know, the BINA project is a private-public partnership arrangement. So our team is focused on developing the enabling infrastructures, the port, the water supply, power stations, and infrastructure to support the tuna processor. So as PS was talking about today, creating that enabling environment. So we were doing the 30% concept design that Mandy was talking about to come up with the business case, which also involved a cost plan. So we're working on those things. By the end of, we have the concept design report now, draft, which we are reviewing. And then we'll have a cost plan by the end of this month, which we'll review with the government. And that should feed into the business case in Q1 2026. And then that will be passed over to the Ministry of Fisheries to take it around and sell it around and talk to people.
So what is a 30% plan? Worries me when I hear a 30% plan.
Yes, so
On the infrastructure, I think.
Yeah, the 30% design is very much a concept design. It's very much a basic concept design. It's going to be further developed into detailed design for construction, but at least it gives an idea of things like, the site layout. We already identified things like, where is the area to be avoided, and, where the warp is going to be, and the camp will be, and things like that. So we have all those locked down now. And we also have to consider things like, where the village is and things like that. So we have done that, and also including things like, when we are putting things like the house, the warp is going to be arranged in the length of the warp itself, and things like that. So those basic dimensions and things like that are available now. With that, we can also do a costing on that. But if somebody is coming in when we get, because the project will be made up of different components, like maybe the wharf will be developed by a different developer and also maybe financed by somebody. So these people will also bring in their design team and also do a detailed design before they start construction, because the one we are doing now will still have to be looked into and developed further by the developer.
So 30 million that was allocated low supplementary budget this year?
That's for the wharf.
Yeah, what's happened to that? Have you tasted $1 of it or?
Chair, for 30 million, before it comes stay, or the MID provide them actually designed finish law him, but they were on the process of reviewing and creating or developing the TOR for it. So no spend yet, the 30 million, but it has been reallocated for next year as well. For before continue on with the domestic jetty.
So just to make that clear, that's for the domestic one.
Yeah.
The one I'm talking about is mainly for the international one.
So, Chair.
Yes, please.
So, just going back to the PS's response, leader of opposition. So, $30 million this year, you top him up, another 29, now $50 million for 2026 budget in your development for warfare.
I think 39, allocation for domestic jetty.
Okay, so maybe what different figures now will look like, but for construction of domestic warfare, maybe 50 million. We haven't done any work on it.
No, mate.
Except design, no more.
It's design.
Yeah. We like 7 or more program for next year. Yeah, lo bina by a project. Yeah. There's a $40 million budget law there. And you list him for early works activities. What kind of work? What kind of early works?
Chair for
Yeah. So for the early works. So if you go to Bina this time, you look at Bina is this need to be improved. Some of the areas there, like we need to, if we start construction, you probably have to do some earthworks.
Right.
Yeah. So you probably have to peel up some of the places because some swampy and things the same. So some of this, those are something we are calling early works, and also habaya by needing navigational aid and things the same, and also there's some places there that you also need to move some of the people, but you probably need to move out from the so all these things now calling early works. Also maybe like you need water supply in that area as well to prepare for construction and things the same. But we are looking at those kind of activity for that budget. Yeah.
I'm a little concerned. This 30 million allocation growth this year, supplementary, is an example of government system. Partly lack of planning on your part, or perhaps over-ambition by your minister, that he thinks he can use the 30 million this year in 2 or 3 months. We pointed this out, of course, in PAC and in Parliament, that to even get past procurement and probably Christmas already, if you even started. So this highlights the difficulty you will have next year. So the approach you're taking now, everything's getting funded out of Treasury directly, I think is going to hold you back. You should have a special account or set up a company or do a totally different platform to deliver this very important national project. When allocations are done, Treasury pays in 2 or 3 installments into that account. You're able to run the activities without having to go back to Treasury. They can't even sit CTB for our seaweed So I would big one osem go moe mi barawari lo this one. That's my first concern. My second concern is, since me looking barat blomi lotina hydroe, me worry go moe. Yeah. Worry blomi is when we talk about PPP, public-private partnership. Public, that means the government borrows all the money. Private rides on free. Nolotina, I'm not a fan of that model. If you call that PPP, that's not PPP, that's a rip-off. Peep off or something, keep it PPP. Rip-off. So we private sector has to put some hard money in for you to that they're really committed. I mean, what's happening in Latina can't be good for us. And the second thing is, and I have to grind on this, the role of ADB law, Tina, is, I think, instructive for us. You know, we start with these things and we borrow all of the money, grant aside, and it just keeps creeping up. We end up with more borrowing. Most of our borrowing threshold is almost filled with TINA now. We only have another 10% to go. We start borrowing for BINA, we're going to go in excess of the 35% limit. So I think a lot of thought needs to go. We can't repeat TINA. TINA is good in terms of it's what we need, but the price is just way too expensive what it is going to do. So, you know, I'm worried that we all want BINA to happen, but not at any cost. It has to be at the right cost. So I'm just worrying about the private here now by pushing up cost here. Then P for public now bear them all the risk and the borrowing. So be mindful when you're packaging the business case and the financing framework for that.
You guys are going to Australia. You're leaving anytime this afternoon, isn't it? Yes. So who are you meeting in Australia? I just want to know. And what are you going to tell them?
I think tomorrow is the
Is it flight?
the Solomon business or the Australian Solomon Business Forum. Will happen in Brisbane.
Is this one of the things that you're going to flag there?
BINA will be featured at the forum. Presentation will be provided. One is.
So, what's the nature of that presentation? Because you have just refused to disclose to us the entity that has expressed its interest in. Can you tell us?
No.
But you will tell them in the business forum.
We'll tell them the business. BINA is an important project of Solomon's, and we need investment.
But you've been telling everybody that ever since up till today. I even tell everybody during my time, it's a very, very important investment.
Yeah, that's right.
But then, where have we got stuck? That's a question that I think everybody's asking right now. I mean, then money I'm telling more 30% below the early works here, no, but I need to be done this time. I don't know how many percent of it is what you're going to tell them tomorrow.
Still 30.
Then he's suggesting that, you know, we need another vehicle to be able to park these resources. I think I agree with this, because I told you about the seaweed too. 7 million, 2 million next year. It's going to be 14. I think it's going to be 4 million no more by him spending, or even less too, I must say. We still can't find out structurally how the budget is still got stuck somewhere, not being able to meet all the expenditure needs, believe me. Everybody is coming every year to say that, you know, our revenues hit the target, or even some fellas say 110%. You last time say 110%. Then we still have cash flow there too. So I don't know where now the blockage here. Think we block all of it no more. This or something. Yeah. So no, I think you may need for understanding no more this priority. We want to put our best recommendation in our report, what we can do, to support Bina, Emerson. So you tell us, what do you want us to tell in our report?
Chair, I think
For allow me no mangono Brisbane or
no. I think I'm late already, so flight council finished.
oh really?
Yes. So I think in terms of from today going forward, I think special account we will push them through the finance, that everything will be in or everything of fisheries, put them inside a special account. And they will deliver from
The
that.
special fund?
Special fund account, yeah, special fund. Like
You have one?
Blobina. In the act, it is there, but we will push him through. But I got on the MNO provided for us yet. But in the account, there is a provision for that. That mill fishery should go.
They have a special fund. Yes.
Fisheries.
In the Fisheries Act.
Yes, they have.
Fisheries Act.
I was going to suggest.
But Mivola, I think it may be good for coming from the committee for Mivola.
Maybe that's what we need to recommend.
Yeah. And then I think it will be
Very prioritized strategic disbursement, expenditure. Yeah. That
But we
need
also
to know.
have programs with special funds.
Yeah, aviation and
NHA.
NHA. Okay. Yeah. Make sure you don't fall into the trouble of NHA. Yeah. We'll do our best to recommend it, but then you will not fall into the trouble of NHA no more. And aviation too. I must say.
Chair,
Small Malay, please. Yes. Yeah.
I don't know whether agriculture is a good example, but others seem to get around with this kind of arrangement.
They have a special fund.
Yeah, they've got money where all the activities blocked, just run. They don't have to wait for procurement bottlenecks long or treasury. This is a very, very important project. Bina and seaweed here. What block him? Based on the report, yeah, what a good, but block him money from treasury, I'm no good. And so I have questions about this $103 million. Me no sabe whether how not, but you spending, given our past experience. Yes, all the good activities here, and we want to get this project up and running. But with this kind approach along treasury, by not doing anything to help him, you need to get on with this project.
Yes.
Yeah, Chair, me really strongly believe that with your support, if MIVAS have opened that special fund account, I think it will really help us, because a lot of times stuck something with volume sit down normal law systems. Well, I will submit, but then I'm sit down there for 1 or 2 months before payments come, especially business. So even if we will say important project, but I'm not saying I'm not sure. Or finance stand away, or especially the officers hello there, because I think the management is okay, but it's really the officials.
But the non-appropriate fund here. How many accounts have you been holding? Are you a signatory to some of these funds here? Accounts here? They are non-appropriated here. This one.
Non-appropriated?
Yeah.
Katumas inside.
Non-appropriated in your sector. It's to the tune of what here?
8 million.
58 million. Who are signatories to all those? Hey, how do you look strong on me? FC, man, me forget him. FC. Yeah, please, FC. Who are the signatories to these accounts?
The non-appropriated, who not listed there. I think we only have one that is proper no more, which in fact we don't have any non-appropriated.
The New Zealand one has got 17 million. Then there's another New Zealand one, together with in total about 20 million here, Lobina. And then we have the World Bank, this. I can't read this. Me go here no. Where now this one here?
Yeah, Lopina, 20 million, yes. 19.3.
But I thought. Guinea's got 20 million from New Zealand. There you are. 20 million from New Zealand, and then you've got the, it's called the PEP program, second phase for the economic resilience, probably climate related, I think, about 33 million. So, where are these funds being held?
The non-appropriations, I think, Imina signatory with the Model of Finance.
You are signatory with.
The PS of Finance.
So, is both operating account and a foreign currency account? Are these funds held in foreign currency? Do they call it foreign currency?
I'll give it to
Chair, if me say answer that couple one project under it's called Marine Spatial Planning. This project is a 2 years project supported by New Zealand aid, and currently we struggle for opening account yet, and New Zealand come through it. MC dollars and Central Bank until Ministry open an account. But confirm yes, PS was one of the signatory in that project.
Okay. So PS is a signatory now to a foreign currency account.
it's not for
I'm not formalized yet, but that's the agreement which Ministry entered with them, New Zealand, in fact.
Because the question that I'm asking is that when it enters the country, enter mobile account here, we form part of the capital account. So, who of you now am signatory lo him? It all right for Talem no committee.
No, Chair, also me tell me by me signatory that account, but it will require 2 signatories. So me and a colleague Blomilo law environment, but signatory will always come from finance.
Oh, okay.
But environment no in PS8.
No, there's one already. Yeah.
They have one. And Commissioner Lansemi investigated, so it's out of your interest now. Yeah. So I think there's a way out for you here. You have been convincing them to open accounts. No? I think you can open account for Bina. You've got 2 very huge amount of money there from New Zealand. I think you can always ask finance to park the money below Bina, below that particular account.
Yeah, it's great.
Also, go in that account.
That particular account. It's 20 million.
But get someone from New Zealand to sign also, so we have confidence it's going to go right.
Yeah.
Oh, you less votes, eh?
That's what agriculture did. I think you need to learn from agriculture.
Okay.
And we will promoting you to do that, but please, you need the resources for seaweed, sea cucumber, sea cucumber, what more, tilapia.
Okay.
What more?
Okay, for ceremony.
Oh, yes. Yeah, for Bina. So I think there's a way for you to do it, and then slowly you can say him special fund.
Okay. We'll try. Chairman.
Activity closing account.
Yes.
It's like
So it's interesting that you are holding a foreign currency account and also an operating account, but you
Don't have any money.
don't have any money.
the foreign account, him just comes straight from CBSA, will be him by to go straight to operating account project enoma.
Yeah, that's why it's sitting in the capital account, in foreign currency account. So it's still in a currency. So when we ask you today, are you receiving? You said no. In fact, you are receiving money from donors. Yeah, for the sector.
You expect all of that next year, or some part-time?
Chair, come again? Come again, leader?
We're going to spend all of that.
It's all 20 million from New Zealand, go in that account, You expect all of it next year, and you're going to spend all of it next year?
I'm fees.
Chair, again, as me mentioned earlier, for 2 years now, project 2.5 years, and for targeting 3 provinces, Makira, Temotu, and...
No, it's only for Bina.
So I'm Bina.
17 and 17.1 and $2.1 million is for Bina.
Bina region arrangements for governance and the
Bragg
Bina project.
Bragg,
Hem really allocation plan New Zealand government for communities, Bina for every work associated with communities. So hem now Bragg. So yes, we will hem for next year.
All of it you will receive in 2026?
Yeah.
So then there's going to be more 2027? Yeah. Okay.
Good.
Yes.
So you are better resource to do the groundwork for that 30% here? Yeah? Now you like telling me? Forget more?
No more. No more PS law.
Yeah.
Agriculture.
Yes.
So, Chair, just to little bit make him clear, all this will work away before doing. So, Bragg being a regional arrangement for governance, one group we have to do mapping out people haba and other communities, Lobina village level and other water sources here. So I think that's where that money will be used for, and also other activities. Same. Yeah, but then every time too, or supporting me for a lot time for go and doing other activities lo field. Teams from Bragg always around. So I think those allocations are for doing more things and facilitating for ngarem easy access lo site and sabe lo people and things the same. So that's the work happening.
So Chairman, one where Officer Talemena, this was $2.1 million.
2.1, yeah.
17.1 million for project office. What now? Wakalo.
Same sickness blotina, no? Come on.
Aye.
Project office.
So, 17.197 million.
The 17 man that one, yeah, him blow New Zealand through the Bina office, but him contracted outside of the country. Him not afraid him sit on it, but it's just a direct contract from outside to inside the offices. So with him, Mokata, I think no insignificant employee SIG him.
Okay.
Outside of the country, him sit with New Zealand and a group call him Johnston International.
So you mean to say this money has never entered Solomon Islands?
Well, never.
Well, never. 17 million.
Money used for operations, but him outside the ministry, we will not even know. We have nothing to say about that, but allocation from New Zealand to the Bina office, and him block itself to the Bina office. But although him captured there, but we have no right over that. I mean, we don't know aware or no engaged activity how him should spend. But we know that it's for Bina.
Why don't you tell them just to take it out? There is no transactional cost involved.
We'll let them know then.
But for disclosure purposes, we need it here so we know what's happening. So we can this.
At what cost?
But so we know at least the overall
Cost of the project, yeah.
So, yes.
But we know this money is spent overseas.
Yeah.
For the TA or the.
That's right. So so maybe just on that, so there's a contract between John Staff International Development Law Australia with the Minister of Foreign Affairs Trade New Zealand. Yeah? So that contract is the one that allows consultants and people to look at, especially the planning and design team, So you hire people to do things like geotech investigation. You also hire environmental consultants and supervise them and things of the same. So I'm now one part of that contract.
So, if they are going to be asked the question, we're in a place that they earn that income, and for what particular project in which jurisdiction, what about liable foreign country over there? About liable there? Because the final beneficiary of the project is Solomon Islands. This is where they derive that income from.
Yeah, so I think
because you never know what they will be saying to themselves there. They might be applying for an exemption simply because, you know, they are an employee of a foreign government or being engaged by a foreign government. So you need to look into details into, you know, issues here. That's what I'm saying.
So I think that their deliverable is very clear. So they will be delivering the outcome to the Ministry of Fisheries.
Yes.
The PS will sign off on the deliverables.
Delivered, framed,
Yeah.
the benefit of Solomon Islands.
Yeah.
That's what they will be delivering.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Once they show it to another tax jurisdiction, they will be saying, look, you know, we are deriving this income from that jurisdiction. So, my friend, and you could be part of it too, lawyer, because you are part of that office, yeah? Yourself.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. Yeah.
No one me tell him, lawyer. You want me team,
But I think what's need to understand, like I think New Zealand will also do the due diligence on everything to make sure that, you know, they are paid what is due to be paid here and what's due to be paid in the country. So I think that
the point that I'm saying to you is that, you know, it is framed to be delivered to Solomon Islands. That's what they are delivering to their, because it's New Zealand government for the benefit of government of Solomon. So that is a tricky part of tax here. Just like yourself. Look at you say, oh, I'm paid by an overseas agency to look after this office law here. So it will everyone go back no more than revisit him. But Titing Blomi, still, I think this money am delivered to Solomon Islands, held in a FC account here, Solomon. But it will find him out. Anyway, but in saying that, I think this is where you can actually put some of your resources into. Order below treasury here, you know, Toro going chatlo here. So that you don't have any problem at all, you know, delivering some of these things.
No, Chair, just get permission from my peers, but I just like to follow up from when we appeared during the submission of our supplementary appropriation around middle of this year, we were talking about this special fund, and one of the things I remember we collectively talked about, and maybe something your committee might like to consider, is if we can generate a revenue of 200 to 300 million a year, what about 10% of it every year? I'm going to that fella special fund so that I make him work and implement him at least 10%. Peanut blame no more.
Yeah, I mean, that is a possibility because I think that money, or you can draw resources from the multilateral treaty too, with FFA. These are options. And the old money you use him no good before, also level two. You use him for go to travel over here, draw some resources there. But I think you have a point, and the point is that the law provides for you to establish a special fund. Nobody should refuse that. Because if they refused you, then them justify why they allowed NHA to operate outside of the special fund.
Yes.
So go. Even say him come talk wrong lawyer too about the special fund, because He's not auditing a special fund here. Money him go around him, no special fund here. Delivering money out of the treasury directly, and then when the audit him come, him say, hey, me special fund here. That's a problem with him. So make sure you don't do that. But you have a point. It's a very compelling one. It's the law, and you have been operating, receiving that resources, and the law prescribe him too what should go into the special fund. So I think you should have a case, to finance to do that, because everybody's expressing their concern. Lawyer, this BINA resources allocated for BINA and other very critical investment that you may identify. But money continue for delay me.
Good.
Yeah?
Yes.
What are you thinking?
I'm good.
Yes. Anything more for your regime?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. No, you for regime go.
Me like ask about before me come back to seaweed.
Yeah.
Me like ask about revenue. No? Are you on target for revenue blow this year, and then blow next year? You will think me realistic. See some ship come out low. Start to come low harbor so.
Chair, I think for revenue for this year, I think, yes, I'm confident to say that we're on target. We're on target. I think
I think 300 something.
just look at them piece paper below revenue no more. I think by October, we will cast and finish. Yeah. We have reached 238 million by October. So the rest until the end of December, I think we will. We are expecting amount of revenue will come through, because by renewal or every license take place till December.
So I think another 100 million.
Not really 100 million, but at least 70, 80 million for him. Boost them to 238 million. Yeah, where because we finish.
And next year, fishing conditions are projected to be.
I think projected to be it to be favorable for us. I think not El Nino but La Nina will be there for us for half of next year or even 3/4 of next year. So that will be for.
Warimolo sidelong of fishing here. Me raised him last time, but it seems you will not agree, so you will not take action. But this time, me will get fisherman go far away too much now. Catching fish through
Yeah.
So some protection along coastal seas here by me really useful as a food basket. Food security of fishermen are go and still catch him fish it. But Pasanas come too close to shore and make him fishing in Barrow. Before, once me cut cross or go gala, it no in Yalvin, no ending to this time. You lucky go casolem ending, man.
I think you know fishing now.
I think start all too so.
Yeah, so chair, inside law rules or regulations, only any of the vessels no more, the 4 small ones or the 5 small ones no more, to come inside law, or inside law Ajab waters me.
But even that one too, you will stop him now.
Or Katsavala come 6 miles.
No more 6 miles, Sikol no more go eh.
It's a 5 number this time, not allowed to, but scientific advice from me, or himself allowed up to 7 inside law, inside allergic waters, me.
Scientific advice, no, not take him into reality where the fisherman will face him. Because can penny bad story, me. Ot man no kakach truan eh.
Ito talan.
Ot man stap lo auki, ot go fishing na side lo weto kos no. So ot katemot to blo NFD follow mo kata between Island ni ot man kuros tu mas.
Okay.
I mean, it's just a real life situation. Livelihood blow kata and food security.
I think we take note. We take note that the remnant of stock inside allergic waters blame always remain. So the stock where him go all the eastern seas and all the outside in the east area.
So NFD too. And NFD too move out.
Okay, we take note, Chair.
Me raise him with him general manager of NFD last time too, but him la love me no. Ay, something will love you man. So yeah, I'd appreciate that matter if I look seriously like. Zem go him.
Yes, blow vessel or allow NFD too.
Oh yes, I see it too. If I think like because you know the other thing we give rise to is what to be big fish here, small fish here come down for market eh. Me come displace him more market for what fisherman blame me too yeah. So we all think good lah. Some man too livelihood growth will go. Pasay na by him come solve it, but there are customs issues and other issues involved more on that one. So think about all of those issues together, come to something rational. Just my last comment, Chairman, side lo seaweed. Side lo seaweed here. Now that you're having a tender, well, whenever they finally decide they will sit. But when you have those funds allocated, go log at the suppliers here. What farmers have absolutely no idea. And so I'm a little bit hard for when out to go sourcing materials and also. So not come kakasim member mo, member ringing you more. It'd be great if there was, it was transparent, where they could source that kind of stuff, materials for that, doing what and what like for doing. So more information come out now.
Chair, thank you. I think we have a process in place. Maybe me ask him, the Deputy Director of Agriculture, a little bit story come about that process. Yeah. So,
Tell him come forward.
Tell him come. But we have a process in which everyone or come to ministry for ask him who's who. And because even the suppliers, the material is specific, like ropes, you go to another supplier. Nets, you go to another supplier. Him issue or how allocations are made this time. So like last time now, one supplier and provide him everything. For now, we will a little bit share them a little bit for other suppliers to come in. But the ones where we will rely, when we will understand that they also support the farmers inside the communities, believe me. But I'll leave it to the.
So, Chairman, how now farmers have where to go and who never go Kasim?
I'm not coming here. give him the mic, please.
I'll give him.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm asking what the question about.
You ask him no more.
You tell him.
Process law, like what farmers like.
Either by him, ask him come.
Yeah. What now process level for farmers accessing with materials and resources for seaweed farming? And what time about I start come looking at you?
Chair, usually people work with the existing farmers. We've got the data, we've got their names, but for the new ones, Lord Kamlo office, then we will take note of names and locations when I would like farm. Then we will include him inside the listing. Or we will Magarim lobbies for supporting more the farmers.
What's a goal? Okay, no need for Kamlo Honer who look at me.
Okay, if what no come no honera, then no sao looking fishery services no closest logata. Okay, then bagata rilim come.
You will store him some material there, log.
Usually, we will keep him materials with them supplier because we will not get him place for storing odd materials. So time odd farmers request and we will direct him water. We will get him arrangement with them supplier that we will just sign him up, verify him what delivery and all the stuff, then we will give him what farmers where really need him odd material.
So much come on here,
Yeah, including some farmers lower provinces where have the chance for Kamlohanel.
So this going to lo temo tu nende no mana temo tu pele no mana malay tau Thailand o mas Kamlohan yarno.
Yeah, temo tu, but we have the representatives coming to the office to inquire. But at the moment, we are still to provide some materials to farmers at Temotu.
So even I think process it, you just need to improve it so that make them services and deliver a little bit of province rather than you forcing people to come and then take a material, go back. It's a minimum go. I mean,
if Mr. Ad, Ministry Garamoto Extension Office key commercial sites too, and some of the materials are sent to them for distribution. But in the last PAC, I think that was not recommended. We complained a few are selling lot of materials. So, but we were still utilizing that process as well.
You were utilizing last year, this year, or got the extension officers, yeah?
Extension officers.
Yeah.
So you will send the material go look at it.
Yeah, me wala.
Then no get sell them, some No, I mean no. You know they were selling.
Extension officer.
I mean, if they're selling, you should be disciplining them. But they were selling. You know some that were doing this.
We will hear some stories, but we will have to investigate to ensure that
investigation is underway. You talk as if knowing thing, eh? If you have suspicions, and investigate it and suspend them and take appropriate disciplinary action. Otherwise, don't use it as an excuse for not centralizing a service for the people. You can't have the best of both worlds.
Good word. Any reaction from you, PS? Because, you know, even small Malayda, extension officer brought it, but I have no idea whatsoever now. What you was told.
Yeah, Chair, we take note of that one, and the process we're taking, we will put in place, and every report from them and require the number of production and what now they're doing every day, and including photos and all these things from Mivala, after and ensure that everything him true and I'm correct. So I think we're keeping an eye on everyone in terms of all extension officers. If I can just add also that. Just last time we launched a development plan of a lot of provinces, like Fisheries province. So in that development, one will object them now, the development of fisheries, the expansion of seaweed and other development, other developmental potential products for UME inside the provinces as well. So I think it will be also an opportunity, a platform for expansion of rural products and livelihoods for people believe me. Thank you.
My final comment, just follow on from comment blame for you for follow PS lo agriculture. Lo samval we, saman naru we blame ravis tu ye. some way. And he did mention they're trying to build up economies of scale or cocoa and coconut, so there can be some bit more value adding here. And also seaweed now, so I think fairly quickly we can hit some targets. So by good for you for now set them targets here. How many tons dried seaweed now production here? Then have medium level where you miss a process. What kind of process value adding now you medium here? Where possible, and then go to cabinet proposal to incentivize some investment. So we have that processing here, and then him further stimulating production more. Start thinking like that, where agriculture comes to story just before you come here. It's good thinking.
Sure. Yeah, well, that's why we asked them to come up with the
ideas.
Some ideas. And then also bring us some information on the targeted for the pharmacy, and also their production target for next year. And if there is any input from government, so that it can be reflected in our report, because it looks like with that production target for this year, a very minimal input from government. That 2 million, That I think equal everyone constituency here now doing a great job here. So, well, I think it would be good if we can come up with some kind of an improved arrangement. I think this is a right place for you for and him now session on them. Yes, thank you so much for engaging with the committee. Yes, please, yeah.
More is on seaweed, like what outside law, hatchery law down earlier. I know more resources has been spent on hatchery law down. It's like
tilapia,
yeah, the tilapia. It's like for survey. I'm ready for farmers for breeding now, or how and which farmers now by survey go and take them tilapia and go breeding, and what provinces now by survey go take them.
Tilapia. I mean tilapia. Who of you are responsible for tilapia?
I'm Commander Agriculture, but I'll leave it to
Please,
Deputy Secretary for.
Okay.
Chair, on the question for tilapia, again, we are planning for importation for next year, March. That's for importation law, fingerling law, tilapia. So currently the progress in law infrastructure development law down, I think 3 house no more left, but meeting standard where minimum requirement for me operating hatchery by next year. So we feed everything purchases. So we are now just preparing for the importation next year.
So the work has been there for the last, 5-6 years?
10 years.
10 years now? And I'm still yet to be operated, isn't it? Huh? Okay. Next year, if I'll come back, then you report tilapia. Yeah? For now, let's choose seaweed and or the other, find the best arrangement of financing, resourcing, so that you can avoid him, should avoid him now, the kind of I think that's the message that we want to leave with you. Please come up with those information, normal seaweed and what other that we have. Thank you. Okay. Enjoy your day.